Michelle was a talented young weaver who lived with her father, a bitter, angry old god. Michelle used to sit for hours and watch as the spiders spin their webs. And through careful study, she became the greatest weaver who has ever lived. That turned some heads. The sun god, Kenesha Howe, fiery and arrogant, first falls in love with the moon's work, and then soon falls in love with the moon herself. So, he starts to woo her. First, he kills a deer, guts it, and stuffs it with ash to bring to the moon as a gift. But the moon's jealous father sees the sun coming and disapproves. So, he spills maize cooking water in the sun's path to spoil his plan. And the sun slips on the water, dropping his gift, and where he drops the deer skin, a magnificent tobacco plant blossoms. We'll be giving out free cigarettes later, so keep an eye out for that. I am. Anyways, the sun needs a new plant. So, he asks to borrow the feathers of the hummingbird to grant him quickness. And he returns disguised as a hummingbird to sip nectar from this beautiful tobacco plant. Okay. And this catches the moon's attention. She's intrigued, right? So she challenges her father. She says, "I bet you can't catch that hummingbird. He's too quick." And the old prideful god takes offense. He's like, "What are you talking about? Of course I can." And he shoots the hummingbird out of the sky with his blowgun. And the moon catches the wounded bird in the gourd where she stores her yarn. She nurses it back to health, and she carefully places the hummingbird in her cleavage, which pleases the hummingbird very much. And she goes to sleep with the hummingbird on her chest. But at midnight, Kenesha Howe grows too comfortable, and he returns to his human form, not only putting himself in danger, but also jeopardizing the moon. She's strictly forbidden by her father to have any male company. So the pair escape together through a window, and they run away. And the moon's father is furious. He calls on the lightning, an old friend. "Lightning, strike down my daughter and the man who's stolen her away." And lightning, out of loyalty, obeys. He throws his axe at the sun and the moon just as they arrive in a vast lake. And the sun takes shelter in a turtle shell, and he's safe. And the moon dons the armor of the armadillo. But lightning's axe shatters the armor. It pierces her heart. And she dies. The moon's blood drains into the lake. And the sun is heartbroken. He's horrified. And in his grief, he calls out to the dragonflies to help him gather all of the blood from the lake and place it into 13 different jars. And 13 days later, he opens all the jars, and the first 12 are full of vermin, snakes and lizards, and biting insects, scorpions, spiders, and centipedes. But when he opens the 13th jar, the moon emerges, brighter than ever, and the sun and the moon rise into the sky together. Sorry, can we take a breather real quick? I'm sorry. I feel kind of overwhelmed. Honestly, I feel kind of stupid wearing all this shit. Could someone please open the curtain in the back, if that's all right? Anybody, doesn't matter. And if it's not too much trouble, would someone mind turning on the lights, please? Spent all this time and energy like putting all these props together. And that story did not take nearly as long to tell as I thought it was going to. Sorry, this is weird, right? Fuck! So busy, right? So busy. It's too much. And just the pace of it is fucking insane. Like, what happened to taking your time? Like, I feel like we should all just be going a lot slower, right? Like, I really do. I think we should be going a lot slower. And I talk to people about this, and they're like, yeah, like, it's hard, I get it, you know. And I think when they say that to me, they expect me to, like, feel better because I feel like I have company. I don't actually want company. I genuinely just want things to, like, slow down. And I feel like everybody does. I feel like we all do, right? And so, but then we don't. We collectively, every day, choose not to. We get up, and we keep beating our wings as fast as we can, and we just hover, we just stay in place. And in the madness, like, if you can't keep up, which nobody can, you feel like you don't matter, you feel unimportant, and there's no way out. Because if you feel insignificant, people try and build you up. They tell you to believe in yourself. But then as soon as you start to, they break you down again. They tell you you're delusional. And I don't get why we all can't just decide who we are. Like, why do we need to prove ourselves to anybody? It's just such a difficult world to live in. Like, if your identity doesn't withstand scrutiny, or if it doesn't fall within this, like, very narrow range of experience that people will accept as healthy. And I know you guys know all this. I really am just stalling for time. I'm just trying to think about, like, how I want to talk about this in a way that you guys will accept, but there's really, really no good way of doing it. So, here we go. I have visions. I see stuff. I see things coming. And it all has to do with hummingbirds. And it's been like this since I was like 6 or 7 years old. But, I mean, this year has been a trip. And it's because I met Kaya. Actually, I met Kaya last year. So junior year. She was living next door to me in the co-op. And gosh, she was so beautiful. I couldn't believe she'd ever be interested. But I found out that she's actually a very talented weaver in her own right. She's writing a dissertation on how different species of hummingbirds weave their nests, because she's trying to develop a biodegradable insect netting that will protect crops also against mildew. And I think that's fascinating. And when I found that out, I'm like, okay, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. And it gave me the confidence to like go and just like knock on her door, just come up with some excuse and like chat her up a bit. And we started hanging out like every day. And we hooked up like pretty quick after. But honestly, like it wasn't great. Like it kind of sucked. So we just stayed friends until like the beginning of this year, which is when we finally admitted to each other that we were like fully in love. And we started having sex again, and it was like way better. But that's super beside the point. Kaya. It's tricky, cause I mean, she's generally like super focused and ambitious, and like the kind of person who can just like light up a room with her kindness. But she's also like, she likes to sleep around with like older guys who treat her like shit, and then come and tell me about it, which is like it proves difficult. And the worst one was Michael. Ugh. We were eating together one day, and she's like, "You want to see what Michael got me?" I'm like, "All right, here we go. Like, what is it?" She pulls this choker out of her backpack. Yes. Okay. It's got spikes and the pink fluff, and it's got this name tag on it that says Daddy. And she's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "What do I think? I fucking hate it. Like, this makes me feel sick. Like, you know." She's like, really? Like, genuinely surprised. Here, I can pass this around. Feel free to keep it. I do not want this in my life. And when she gave me that choker, I figured, I mean, if I'm the sun god, she's the moon goddess, Michael's probably daddy. You know, he's probably the father figure. And she started seeing him more and more often. And I fucking told her I didn't like her. I told her. I was like, you need to stay away from this guy, he's fucking dangerous. Like, because I know the story, I know how it goes, I know what's coming, right? But, well, shit, I mean, Michael told her the same stuff about me, so who's she supposed to believe, right? Me, she's supposed to believe me. So she sees him more and more often, and she's staying with him longer each time she visits. And at this point, I would like to check in. Are we all still good, like, all on board, nothing too crazy yet? Okay. Where was I? Mike, so she goes and she visits Michael. Sorry, it's hot here. she goes to visit Michael one day. She doesn't come back. She's not answering her texts. She's not picking up the phone, and she's not on the Snap map, which honestly for her is like super normal behavior. She's like shit about responding. But I mean, it's been a week, and like I'm starting to get really worried. So I talk to the campus police, and they say that there's nothing they can do, but it's kind of, it's literally just numbers and symbols. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to get from this? I'm gonna check his Snap map. Oh shit. It's like way out of town. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. So I get in my car. I'm driving through this like on this winding road through a forest, right? And I arrive at Michael's trailer. It's fucking disgusting. And one of the windows is smashed out. And the cops are there. And they're putting some girl in the back of their car. It's not Kaya. It's I found out later, it's Michael's ex. And I talk to the cops. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I think my friend's here. They're like, fuck off, dude. This is none of your business. I'm like, right. So I leave. And I wait till the cops are gone. And I come back. And I knock on the door to the trailer. No answer. So I go inside. Michael's not there. Kaya's not there. But what is there is Kaya's phone in a pile of broken glass next to a fucking brick. And so now I'm freaking out. And it's like, it's literally all I can do to not completely lose my shit. So I close my eyes and I call out to the hummingbird for guidance. My heart is beating so fast and I have all this adrenaline. And I open my eyes and everything around me is just buzzing with energy and there's fucking feathers growing out of my skin. And it's not scary, it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's the most powerful I've ever felt. And the colors are so vibrant, and I keep waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. My heart slows down, and everything stops buzzing. And the feathers fall out of my skin, and I pick one up, and I pocket it, because I want evidence. I want, like, proof, something that I can tangibly show to someone and be like, this is real, this happened, right? I go back to my car, and I'm just sitting there for like hours because I'm just trying to think of like what the next move is. And it's dark now, like it's nighttime. And yeah, it's nighttime, it's dark. Yeah. I got nothing. So I just start heading home. And as I'm driving, out of the corner of my eye, on the side road, I see this pickup truck is stopped in the middle of the road and there's some light flickering around it like a fire. So I pull over, I hop on, I'm gonna check out what's up. And I see the truck has hit a deer, its hood is all caved in, and its windshield is all smashed up. And the deer is lying dead on the ground in front of the truck, and the deer is burning. And I don't know how it caught on fire because the hood was cold, but I could feel the heat coming off of the fire. It was really bizarre. And there was a hummingbird hovering over the flames, waiting for me, and it shoots off into the forest, And I chase after it, and it leads me to a vast lake. And Kaya walks out of the lake, and she was shivering, and she's like, how the fuck did you find me? I'm like, we gotta go. So I get her back to the car, and as I'm getting her in their car, I can hear Michael screaming, Kaya! And he's hitting the trees with a bat, and I can see the beam of his flashlight, and I get Kaya in the car, and we're out of there. And later I take the feather to a doctor, because I want an opinion. Right. And he's like, you should speak to a psychiatrist. Like, I'm not qualified to diagnose you or anything, but you're probably schizophrenic. And I couldn't believe it, because he saw the feather, right? The feather was real. And Kaya's alive, because a hummingbird led me to her. So if you got a problem, talk to her. Sorry, how many of you guys believe me? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, seriously. Because most of the time, when I talk to people about this, I just get weird looks. So I guess, thank you. I appreciate it. So I guess the rest of you just don't believe me, yeah? You don't?
We do. I believe you.
Okay. You don't? What do you not believe? You don't believe in hummingbirds?
You are a hummingbird.
Okay, so there were a lot of moments where I felt like you were with me, so you're just going along with the story like it's entertainment?
Well, it's interesting.
Okay, look, you're missing the point. Yeah? I want to be clear. This stuff happened to me. I really want you to think about what's possible. And if you can't accept it in a material sense, I at least want you to engage with it on a symbolic level and believe that I am telling the truth to the best of my abilities, without corruption, without embellishment, without exaggeration. Because you sit there and you imagine that I live in a different world than you, right? But I don't. I'm right here. I'm in this room. I'm talking to you. I'm struggling to be understood. The things that happened to me happened in the world that you live in. You don't give a fuck. You genuinely, you don't.
Okay, I think that's
I'm not. I'm
no,
genuinely not. I'm genuinely not
I
done.
think you're done.
No, I'm not.
I'm
not.
Come on.
Philippa, I'm not done.
I think you're done. Come on.
Wait, hold on. Does anybody want any cigarettes? No? You do? Here you go.